Greetings and welcome to yet another video in which I will reveal the complete and unrevealed truth of Cameron's passing. As soon as the news about Cameron Boyce's passing was broadcast on the radio, the entire globe came to a complete and utter halt. After being discovered unconscious on Saturday night, he was pronounced dead at the site of the accident. It was disclosed by a spokesman speaking on behalf of the family that the cause of death was a seizure that occurred as a result of a lengthy illness. However, officials have subsequently claimed that an investigation into the circumstances surrounding the death is still ongoing. Is it possible that there is more to the story? To what extent may the death have been avoided? You will need to remain here in order to acquire further information. Before we get started, be sure you click the box that says subscribe and activate the notification feature. Okay, I realize that the majority of people probably only knew Cameron as a fantastic actor, but I'm here to tell you about every other incredible thing he accomplished up to the time of his passing. It is essential that we put some light on the situation and appreciate the accomplishments he has had as an actor over the years. Cameron was not a slacker. Many people who watched him when they were growing up consider him to be one of those individuals who made childhood more tolerable. When he was just 20 years old, his resume already had a wealth of expertise and accomplishments. Due to the fact that he was biracial, he was aware that it would be difficult for him to obtain leading parts in a culture that was filled with stereotypes. Despite this, he had the same positive outlook on life as his mother, and his perseverance paid off. Superior to his equals, he was successful in all he put his faith in the end. Cam made his debut on television in 2008, and Disney soon saw his skill and signed him to a contract immediately afterward. During his childhood, he was a huge admirer of Disney, and among of his favorite shows were Hannah Montana and That's So Raven and Hannah Montana. He was able to win the tryouts to be a part of the production since he was aware of all that Disney desired. Even though 2008 was a very busy year for him, it was still the beginning of his professional career. He had the ability to make even the gloomiest of days brighter with his humor, and his performance in Jessie was quite exceptional overall. Certainly, the news of his passing came as a shock to a great number of fans. He was also well known for his leading role as Carlos in the Descendants franchise, which was produced by Disney. A few time before his sad demise, he had recently finished working on Descendants 3. He did such a good job of displaying family-friendly norms, and he stated that there were times when people were astonished whenever he cursed or said anything that was not family-friendly. Even though he had never been to a city like London, he was overjoyed to see a picture of himself riding a bus in London. He had always had the desire to explore the globe, and because of this he was delighted when he saw the image. The fact that his influence was felt all throughout the world is demonstrated by this. Cameron was undeniably a badass on film, and Disney need to pay honor to him in the third installment of the Descendants franchise. In that case, we shall all have a strike. Regrettably, he will not be able to participate at the premiere, despite the fact that he was really enthusiastic about it. However, he will always be there in our hearts. Cam also mentioned that Descendants 3 would most likely be his final Disney production, and that he desired to take part in adult performances that would encourage him to push the boundaries of his acting abilities. Without a shadow of a doubt, he would have been able to get significant roles in a variety of projects for a considerable amount of time to come. Furthermore, Cameron was involved in a number of other movies that were not associated with Disney. These productions included Grown Ups, in which he played a role as one of the amusing children, General Hospital, Mirrors, and Eagle Eye. As you can see, there is a significant amount of variation in terms of different performing styles. Not to be forgotten, he also carried out a few voiceovers are included. In addition to being an excellent actor, he also demonstrated his dance abilities in the online series The Legion of Extraordinary Dancers, Dance with the Stars, and Shake It Up. His dancing skills were also on display in these shows. His favorite kind of dance was breakdancing, although they always joked that he was born dancing. Over the years he practiced a variety of genres, but breakdancing was his favorite. If you are interested in viewing other examples of his breakdancing abilities, I have included a link in the description that is titled X-Mob Crew. Concerning the other projects in which the young celebrity was involved, it is still not clear what will happen to them. Due to the fact that it is not simple to find someone to replace such exceptional skill, the producers evidently had a difficult time deciding what to do. Just a few short months ago, he became a member of the cast of Mrs. on HBO. Fletcher, along with the audience, was excited to witness the play. In addition, Boyce appeared in a recently released movie called Runt. The date of the movie's release has not yet been disclosed. A few weeks before he went away, Cameron emphasized the significance of giving back to society and making use of his voice to assist other individuals. One of the most valuable lessons he picked up from his family was the importance of virtue, and he made it a point to assist people to the best of his ability. When it came to the road of giving back, his mother was his guiding light and his father was his greatest friend, who constantly encouraged him to perform to the best of his abilities. Although Cameron hailed from a family with a long and illustrious history, he was aware that he needed to create his own legacy and leave his mark on the world. With complete confidence, we are able to affirm that he has in fact left an imprint on the globe as well as on our hearts. In 2017, he was successful in raising more than $30,000 for a project called the Thirst Project, which aims to provide clean water to nations that are not as developed. Over the course of the month of May 2019, he took part in one of the most important public events to put an end to homelessness. The year 2015 marked the beginning of his fundraising efforts for the Home Walk, which he pursued right up until the moment of his passing. One of the most important things that we learn from him is that the best way to experience personal fulfillment is to contribute to the betterment of society. Right there, you have come across as a genuine hero. There are other philanthropists such as Michelle Obama who have come to the conclusion that the loss to the world is enormous. She acknowledged that Cameron Boyce not only had tremendous abilities but also possessed an incredible heart, and she stated in a tweet that she couldn't believe how fortunate she was to have had the opportunity to meet him. His grandmother has expressed her admiration for his generosity and kind nature, and she has stated that the world has not merely lost a star, rather it has lost a star that shines brightly. Indeed, we have no reason to dispute that, Granny. This is a tremendous loss for the entirety of the cosmos. In a message that was also posted on Twitter, Cameron's father expressed his gratitude to everyone for the outpouring of love that they had received. He also said that it had made it simpler for the family to cope with the traumatic experience of losing Cameron. Send the family your best wishes and sympathies as you continue to send them. Cameron was wearing a denim shirt and cradling his chin in the image that his father Victor shared on Instagram. The picture was shot a few hours before Cameron was taken away from his family after being snatched from them. On that particular evening, he went to bed in a cheerful and full of life state, and he never awoke from his slumber. People continue to express their deepest sympathies to his friends and family, despite the fact that the internet is still in grief over his lost life. Even celebrities have taken to social media to offer their condolences and pay honor to the deceased. Cameron Brar and Sophie Reynolds, two of his co-stars, had already moved in with him at the time. On Twitter, they shared their sorrow with the world. Brar said, "You are the most wonderful thing that has ever taken place in my life. Cam, you are very dear to my heart. Right now I wish I had more to say, but I don't believe I'll be able to find the words to express myself for a long." In a further tweet that was filled with emotion, Sophie expressed, "My family, my person, and my heart. It is possible that I will be able to put everything that Cam was into words at some point in the future, but for the time being it hurts a little bit too much." The child's father, Adam Sandler, who appeared in the film Grown Ups, said how much he cherished the child and how remarkable he was. Additionally, co-stars from Disney have expressed their sympathies to the family, and Zendaya has spoken about the generosity of the deceased. While it didn't take long for some individuals to express their sorrow, it took Dove Cameron a considerable amount of time to come to grips with the loss she had suffered. At long last she expressed her feelings on Instagram, and she was unable to contain her emotions. The two were unquestionably extremely close, and Dove has suffered a significant loss as a result of the star's passing. Due to the fact that Cameron was such a wonderful guy to everyone he came in contact with, the list of celebrities who have offered their condolences cannot be exhausted. It was just recently discovered that epilepsy was the cause of death. It is a neurological condition that results in seizures, and Cameron secretly suffered with the condition for a number of years. Regrettably, Boyce was one of the approximately 1,000 persons who pass away unexpectedly as a result of epilepsy each year. It was his preference to keep that aspect of his life secret. Nonetheless, this did not prevent him from bringing happiness and a grin to the faces of everyone he met. I am aware that we are still in grief. It is impossible for the fans to not ponder whether the death might have been avoided, and I am here to throw some light on the various ways in which this may have been avoided. It shouldn't take the unfortunate death of a renowned person to bring up some of these issues. All that is required is for us to discuss the preventative actions that may be taken. One more person's life might be saved by it. The first thing to mention is that there is a smartwatch that can be programmed to transmit signals if a person is experiencing a seizure. It is able to detect the shaking, allowing loved ones to react as fast as they possibly can. Another method that it may have been avoided is by getting a dog, which is commonly referred to be man's best friend. To put it another way, a dog can be trained to perform any task. In the event that their owners experience a seizure, some are trained to raise their owners' heads, while others are trained to hit a button that indicates an emergency. Surprisingly, dogs are able to detect seizures even before they take place, inform members of their family, and lick away drool that might potentially suffocate someone who is experiencing a seizure. Unbelievable, isn't it? If you are aware of any further useful solutions, please be sure to share them with us in the comment box below. You could end up saving someone's life. Right now, all we can say is that heaven was in need of an angel, and Cameron was the most qualified candidate for the role. If you owned a garden and you wanted to pick flowers for a significant event, you would only choose the greatest blooms, right? This is how you should think about it. Alright, that's all I have for the time being, but I'll be back with yet another amazing video very soon. While the star shines on his journey, don't forget to mention something incredible about him in the comments area. Have a peaceful rest, Cam. You will be in our memories forever. Let me know if you would like it to be formatted as a video script, or if you would like it to include timestamps.